Okay, so Spirit is telling me that whoever this message resonates with, you call out every subliminal that you pre. Okay? When you see it, you call it out. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. I am Mystic Alchemy. Okay, so you call it out, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to say it. Now, you don't necessarily have to say it. However, you call it out. You say it if you want to. You say it if you feel the need to. But you don't always speak on what you see. Okay, which I think that makes sense to me. There's no point in saying everything. It's not always necessary. Okay, so all you need to do is see it. That's what's most important. So there's subliminals, right? Through cues when it comes to mannerisms, when it comes to facial expressions, when it comes to body language. There's cues that whoever I'm talking to, you pick up on. And it's not hard for you to pick up on it just because that's how you're made up. That's how you're made. So you're able to see beyond what others can see. You're able to get down to I want to say the nitty gritty, or down to the bone. Like you could get to it, okay? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So you see what you need to see, and it's because it's like your spirit family coaches you through it to make sure that you see it. Many of you think you walk alone. Many of you think you by yourself, but you're not. Little things that you pay attention to, it's literally a part of you. It's a part of you and your lineage. There are certain things that you automatically do. It's like on autopilot. And it's because this is a part of your lineage. It's who you are. It's I heard your family heirloom. Your family heirloom. Wait a minute. I have to look that up because that is significant right now. They're saying family heirlooms don't have to be tangible. Okay. 1 second. Heirloom. That's an interesting word, actually. A valuable object that has belonged to a family for several generations. You see that? Yeah. A heirloom seed? Okay, I see that here. What is that? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. That's something else. I just saw it and it piqued my interest real quick. But yeah, so a heirloom does not have to be tangible. So many of you have heirloom traits. I don't want to say traits. You have the heirloom gift. You hold it within your shadow, within your unseen. Okay, spirit talk. You hold it within the unseen, and it is your spiritual gifts that you have. Okay, so your ability to tap into them is even a gift. So that's a gift within a gift. And that has a lot to do with your focus. Okay? If you were not focused and you were not able to detach yourself from the chaos that is amongst us all, you would not have access to the gifts. So if you are one that is absolutely distracted with the nonsense of this realm, you're going to have a lot of trouble with connecting to your family heirloom. That is not tangible. That means it's not an object that you could just pick up. It is in the unseen because it's a gift. Think about it like this. Many people know how to paint, but you won't know if they don't tell you. Some people could dress like like how people would think a painter dress. I don't know how that is, but you know, like how they have the depiction of like a painter, you know, with like a paintbrush and the little hat and things as such, you know, but that's just goes along with the image that has been created in this realm. However, like naturally, you can't just look at a person and say they look like a painter, right? They would have to show you because it's hidden. You won't know that someone is a good singer unless they sing, because it's in the unseen, right? So this is the heirloom that Spirit is referring to. And I actually didn't know that this message was going to go in this direction. But this is what happens when you allow Spirit to speak through you. Just let it flow. Let it go. It's fine. It's okay, right? When you know that everything is fine, things happen. When you accept that everything's fine and you take that into your life, even though you know you're not completely oblivious to the chaos around you. However, it's an art to detach yourself from it. So Spirit is saying, learn detachment, because it may appear that these things have so much to do with you. However, when you create your own world, those things have nothing to do with you. That's why I always talk about creating your own world, because I did it. So being that I did it, I know that you could do it too. You know, if you choose to, all right? It's a choice. It's a choice. And it's also discipline that you have to apply yourself, or apply to yourself, or discipline that you have to apply to. However you want to put it, you know what I mean? So yeah, many of you have been able to get to this point of disciplining yourself to not be so moved by things around you and by people around you, and not take everything so personal, because that right there can really destroy a person. Taking things so personal that usually have nothing to do with you. You know, when you learn how to do that, you really save yourself from many unnecessary instances and circumstances and situations, and you're able to see what others cannot see, what other people may miss, because you become sharp. It reminds me of like someone who is blind. Okay, so when an individual is blind, all of their other senses get stronger, and it reminds me of that, like what Spirit is the message that Spirit is giving me to give to you. When you're able to learn detachment, which I feel that blindness can be seen as a sense of detachment from how Spirit is giving it to me, right? Because you're detached from sight, so you can't see. Like a person that can't see, not you per se, but a person that can't see is detached from sight. So everything else gets stronger. And it's the same thing with being able to detach from the chaos and from the lies and from the misfortune and from the game. Okay? When you detach yourself from that game that they want you to play, you become insightful. There's other things that you can see inside of, because you're not so damn distracted by the game that you could opt out. You know, you could opt out. You know, like how you get emails and you don't want them. Like, I don't want this email. Opt out. Unsubscribe, okay, to the email. Or if someone calls you, some company, and they're trying to sell you something, when they call you, you could tell them, please don't call me back no more. I don't know if any of you know that, but say, I'm not interested. Take me off the call list. Okay? Take me off the call list. So you are one that does not allow yourself to be wrapped up into that trick bag, because it's a trick bag. Okay? And you are not to be tricked. So they can't bag you. That right there is the power of the heirloom. That's the power of the heirloom. And there's many different heirlooms, Spirit is saying. There's many different types of gifts like that run in the bloodline. There's many hidden gifts that run in various bloodlines. So it's like specialties, specialties. And once you find out what you can do, hone into it, Spirit is saying, and research it. Look into it. Look into yourself. That's you researching yourself and researching about the gifts of your lineage so that you could so you can enhance your ability to then use it to, I heard life's advantage. You could use your family heirloom to life's advantage. But Spirit is saying the key is to detach and catch subliminals. Because the more you're able to detach from the chaos, the more that you enter into your own world. Okay? Your own world. Your own world. Not the world that was created already. Okay? And once you do that, you know who's who. You can recognize when someone is for you and when they're not. Because you'll be able to catch the wave. You can pick up on people's frequencies. And you'll know if it don't feel right. Sometimes it just don't feel right. And it's not always that the person that doesn't make you feel right is completely horrible. It's just that there are times when it could be a good person or an okay person that you're around or whatever, and they're not like a horrible person, but there's just something about their frequency that clashes with yours, and you're not really meant to rock with them like that. And it's just a feeling, and it's okay to feel that, It's okay. So as long as you really continue to respect that part of you, you're not going to have any issues creating your own world. But it has a lot to do with detachment and subliminals. Okay? There's so much more here, but Spirit is telling me to stop. And it's like, with what I just said, Spirit is saying, allow your mind to run wild here. Because there's so much more. I could go on for a while, but they're telling me to chill. Okay, so I'm going to listen. But they want you to allow this message to see where it takes you. Because you have a family heirloom inside of you. And you may know about it already. But maybe you don't say anything. Maybe you don't want anybody to know. Maybe it's something where you think people might think you're absolutely out of your mind. But, people think what they want to think. And many times when it comes to the unseen, people have no idea what they're talking about or they don't know what is what there, because that's not something that we are necessarily taught in school or in our homes. So once you are called spiritually to connect to yourself in such a way, you begin to go on your own journey and you follow indicators and you research them. The more you do that, you follow indicators and you follow indicators, research. You will learn that way. But you're not learning here in the physical, you're learning in the spirit. Allow spirit to teach you in such a way. When something intrigues you, go learn about it. Go do research. Take time investing in yourself. That is an investment, to do research about something that applies to you that in any other way you would never know, because this is spirit teaching you. However, for those who don't believe in spirit and you don't know if you have one and all that, is going to be harder for you because you're detaching yourself from yourself. Yes, we have our physical body. However, we also have our spirit. Think about this. When someone passes away, their spirit is no longer in that body. Does that give you enough evidence of spirit and what that is? I'm just trying to give you an example. Like, it's us. It's who we truly are. Because once the spirit leaves the body, it's just a body. Okay? Just hold on to that and recognize what I'm saying. Just because you hear the word spirit doesn't mean it's like some woo-woo stuff. It's actually you. Okay? All right. So I'm just leave it there because spirit wants me to. And just allow your mind to wander and do research. If this message intrigues you, or if you get that feeling, but spirit it's like spirit wants to be a good influence on you to get closer to you, okay? So that is it for this message. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you're feeling my vibe, especially if this message does resonate with you. If you would like to book a healthy conversation, you can by visiting www.milkhoneyRose.org. And also, you could join the membership here on YouTube just to support me. And to all of those who do decide to join, thank you. And I appreciate you in advance. I'll see you in the next one.